Bradford, Brother Salim, salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Salim.
Welcome salam, sister. You all right?
Jazakumullah khairan for tuning into the show. What is your question or comment?
It's both, mashallah, all three sisters. First of all, I'd like to say, mashallah, you're all looking good, and it's beautiful to see sisters like you doing a great job, which a lot of men do as well, mashallah. The question is, like the sister says, reliance on Allah is that we all have to make an effort in our life. You know, like we make an effort to get up at 5 in the morning and go work at 6, because we know at the end of the week what we're looking forward to is the wage. But really, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is really feeding us. He's the one who's given us everything. So we have to make an effort. Like I was just listening to all you sisters, mashallah, you're talking about, you know, having reliance on Allah, to make an effort in life for the akhirah, because we're all travelers. We don't want to just like stay on this world. This is just a temporary place for all of us. We're going to make an effort for the next life. And so how do you make the effort is being good in life, reading salah, giving da'wat is one big thing. Because if you're being greedy and where there's a place where there's £1 million and only you know, you're being greedy, you're not telling no one. So your deen is such a big thing. If a man is going to the masjid, he should invite another man.
Jazakumullah khairan for your comment as well. We do appreciate that. It was really important. The importance of tawakal and effort is something that we always have to remember, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, as well. Sister Ustada, unfortunately, we live in a today where we're told that we only get in return what we put in, and to some degree that may be true, and but there is this idea that we're in control of our own destiny. And how do we combat these ideas from being ingrained in our thoughts?
One thing, sister, we can't even control our own bodies or that which is going on around us. I mean, in the animal kingdom, we can't control ourselves. It's not possible. There's a system to everything in life. I mean, there are rules that follow that. You know, one of the greatest things I tell people is when you step out the door, you should be thankful just for the step that you take, because you never know if you're going to come back in with that.
That's true.
So with that, you rely upon Allah for your action. So if you come across a situation, you stop and take a moment and allow time for Allah in a conversation or a moment in order to move forward. And understanding that if it's taking you somewhere, that it's not necessarily a bad thing. You may be in a place Allah is taking you so you can learn something. My greatest emphasis to people in general is that in trusting Allah, you have to believe that everything that happens to you is from Him, and that's the good and the bad. You know, sometimes you may slip and say something that's inappropriate, but someone that has heard it may get something from Allah. Of course, we say stuff Allah, but you keep it moving. You don't get stuck in the feeling that you've done something wrong.
That's definitely really, really important, that we understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ultimately knows exactly everything that is going to happen. And this is one of the basis of our iman as well as our deen, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the past and the present. He knows the good, the bad and the ugly, and that everything is from Him. So ultimately we have to rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we're faced with something that is beyond our control. What do you think about this, Sister Ayan?
Well, I think Ustad is absolutely correct in what she said. You've got to keep moving. But I think one of the things that we have to do is we first have to humble ourselves, because, you know, these thoughts come from a place of arrogance and a total disregard to the fact that, you know, Allah is the creator. He is the ordainer. And, you know, remember that our destinies were written long before even the heavens and the earth was created. So, you know, in reality, what control do we have? I mean, take, for example, like Sister Ustad was saying, we're not even in control of our bodies. I mean, that is a fact. I mean, look at our hearts, for example. It beats without us having to, you know, will it to beat, without thinking about it beating. It just does. And the thing is that even when we sneeze, we know that our heart stops for a fraction of a second. And we know that that this is the reason why we say Alhamdulillah every time we sneeze, because Allah could have decided to take our life away at that point. And the thing is that we're not in control over anything except our own actions and inactions, and that is ultimately what Allah is going to judge us upon, and that everything else is in His hands. So once you do something, leave the rest to Allah, you know, because you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're nothing really. We're here for a purpose, and we need to try and fulfill that.
We'll take things as it comes as well, and that's really, really important. Sister Ustada, earlier, how do you personally implement your reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What kind of tips could you give our sisters just to round up the show, inshallah?
Sister, one thing I do, alhamdulillah, every morning that I wake up, I thank Allah for waking me up. I say, you know, it's about, you already know what my day is about. I accept the good and the bad. You allowed me to wake up, so I know I'm built for today. If that makes sense. So for me, it's, if Allah has awakened my eyes, everything that I'm to face during the course of a day, I'm already prepared for it. And that I have to stay calm and trust in Him. So for me, if I'm out of balance or if I'm angry or something, I always ask myself why. Probably because you don't like what you're going through.
Yeah.
However, Allah knows best. So it's about staying calm, and I live the moment, sister. You know, we have to live in the moment because we're never promised tomorrow, and we want to be the best that we are as, sister, in the moment. So we're supposed to be good-natured, have hope, you know, have a good disposition about ourselves, and then trusting in Allah in the moment. You walk that way.
Yeah.
You know, whether the situation is bad or good, people don't know. They just see the alhamdulillah in your life.
Absolutely. Jazakumullah khairan so much for your comment and for joining us this morning all the way from Atlanta. We do appreciate your comments, and Jazakumullah khairan to the sisters on the panel as well for the discussion. Life is full of tests, each one of them an opportunity to shine and showcase our faith in Allah. Patience in every situation and forethought can save us a great deal of pain and disappointment, so long as our trust remains in Allah. Whatever your worries, be they financial or about the relationships in your life, know that with every hardship comes ease. And Allah reminds us of this in Surah At-Talaq, verse 3. And He provides for him from sources he never could imagine. And if anyone puts his trust in Allah, sufficient is Allah for him. For Allah will surely accomplish His purpose. Verily, for all things has Allah appointed a due proportion. We've had an inspirational discussion that we pray you take great benefit from. But there is more to come in our last segment, where we take a look at what your views are on Mother's Day. See you in 3. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.